Ganja is a bird. This is herb.
Herb. Does it matter to you that it's still against the law here in Jamaica?
Every law is illegal.
Every law is illegal?
Every government upon the face of this earth today is illegal. Not one of them is legal.
When you dealing with anybody named Bob, it's gonna always be a touchy subject.
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my god, why are you even watching this?
That's Bob's house, right? Bob's used to be living over there. Long time now, about 16, 17 years old.
Is that where he lived before he went to Kingston?
Yeah, he was born there, born down the bottom.
A lot of white people have infiltrated the islands, and their children have become famous and have taken over our stuff.
That's not one of us. Excuse me, I met her father. I was sitting at the table with the Governor General of Jamaica, along with the Prime Minister. My ex-wife and I were guests of the government. He was introduced as our favorite Hindu professor. He said he was of Hindu ancestry and also Irish. And he admitted that some of his Irish ancestors owned slaves on some of the Jamaican plantations. And the mother is a Hindu. She's a Brahmin. And I don't see how Brahmin and Irish equates to black, since there's no black ancestry. They just live in Jamaica.
But that don't mean they ain't good. You know, everybody has to fuck up first before you say they bad. You was innocent until proven guilty in my eyes.
Do you think any of the Rastas have been involved in the killings in Jamaica over the years, or that's somebody else?
Rasta is involved in progress, in making understanding, like preaching traditional culture to people. Rasta no killers. You have to do good before you can be a Rasta.
You have to do good.
If he's baddie, then you're bad. If he's goody, then you're good.
What would I have to do to be a Rastafari?
Well, the first thing you have to be born again.
Born again?
Yeah.
Would I have to be black?
Do you have a choice?
Bob Marley's father was a man called Captain Norval Marley, a Jamaican white man. Norval Marley left Jamaica and went to Liverpool and joined the military, and he did very well. Obviously, he became a captain. And so this was during the time as well of the British Empire. The British Empire was still very powerful at this time, when Norval Marley was a captain in the British military. And so obviously that would promote the idea that he was certainly, prepared for war. He was a captain in the military. And he went back to Jamaica when he was 60 years old, and had relations with a girl called Cadella, who was at the most 17. At the most. Many people say she was younger than that. They had a baby, and that baby was Bob Marley. 10 days after Bob Marley was born, Norval Marley died. So Norval never saw what his son became.
Yeah, this is the house the father were living. The father were living here. So why is living here and put the woman down there?
Did Bob ever know Captain Marley later?
I couldn't say whether he had known his leader, yes or no.
And what sort of man was his father?
He was an Englishman, a white man. His work was doing field work in the mountain as a supervisor for the ex-soldier and for there's a crown land, for the land inside the wood.
Was he well liked here? Did the people like him?
Oh yes, he was well liked here.
Bob Marley, I listen to a lot of your music. people hate on you, but I ain't gonna hate on you. I know what you was talking about.
In 1976, Marley was slated to play at Smile Jamaica, a free concert created by the returning Jamaican Prime Minister, Michael Manley. Manley was a divisive character, and political tensions were growing between his party and his oppositions. So he tried to set up a concert to bridge the gap. Just 2 days before the concert, Marley, his wife, and his manager Don Taylor were assaulted by an unknown gunman inside Marley's home. The attack was believed to be targeted at Marley because of his support for Manley, and during the attack, Marley was reportedly shot in the chest.
The CIA was vitally interested in everything he did. They kept files on him. It is fairly certain that they were behind the shooting attempt on his life in 1976.
But it was a seemingly minor event that changed the course of Bob Marley's life. It happened while he was on tour in France during a pickup game of soccer. A player stepped on Bob Marley's toe. He was carried from the field, and a French doctor gave him an injection. Bob Marley was soon diagnosed with cancer of that toe, the cancer that would kill him. Some speculate that Bob Marley had been injected with cancer or something else that mimicked its effects.
So did the CIA kill Bob Marley? Well, I know they tried to. I think they wanted to see him dead.
Roger Steffens can't bring himself to believe it was a hit, but others can.
You had posted something about Bob Marley being killed by the CIA?
Yeah.
You believe that?
I don't know. I'm starting to believe that shit because I got it off tip page. And every time I've been saying this for the last fucking 5 months. And that might be God showing me that shit when I scroll down the page. I've been asking motherfucker how Bob Marley died. He had toe poison. He had this. He got... It's 90 fucking different stories about how Bob Marley died.
Bob Marley, they didn't just JFK or MLK him. There's like reports that it was something in his toe or...
He had cancer, right? I believe he had skin cancer.
Yeah.
Kidi Obi Awadu is known as the Conscious Rasta. For years, he's been distributing his writings and videos of conspiracy theories, including this one.
It seems to be without a shadow of a doubt that, yes, they had targeted Bob Marley for neutralization, and this would be a prime vehicle for doing that.
Into the shoe where Bob Marley big toe rests inside the shoes, underneath the sole. You know what Babylon did? They put a piece of copper wire underneath the sole of his shoes. So when Bob Marley wear the shoes, the copper keep on sticking Bob Marley into his toe. And what that copper wire does, it poisons his body and killed him. So when you hear people talking about Bob Marley have cancer, that's a lie. Bob Marley didn't have no cancer. Babylon killed Bob Marley. The CIA's killed Bob Marley's.
Jonathan Vankin is our conspiracy expert. He says the Marley theory is not unusual.
Jack Ruby, the killer of Lee Harvey Oswald, himself felt that he had been injected with cancer cells. William Casey, the director of the CIA, died of a brain tumor right in the middle of the Iran-Contra hearings.
Bob Marley's shoe was contaminated with a toxin needle from a water shellfish toxin that produced cancer in Bob Marley a year later.
Conspiracy theorists believe the CIA attempted different methods to silence the Rastafarian musician. They allege that Carl Colby, the son of the former CIA director William Colby, gave Marley a pair of boots designed to sabotage the Jamaican activist. Others claim that Marley's German diet physician was a former SS officer working with the CIA to poison Marley. Adding fuel to the fire is the rumor that a CIA agent confessed on his deathbed to killing the reggae superstar.
So, a 79-year-old retired officer of the CIA, Bill Oxley, made a series of stunning confessions. He claims he committed 17 assassinations for the American government between 74 and 85, including Bob Marley. He worked for the CIA for 29 years, top security clearance. He pretended like he was a New York photographer, a famous photographer. and he brought Bob Marley a pair of size 10 sneakers. I forget what the brand was. Anyway, he put a pin in it. Here it is. I gave him a pair of Converse All-Star size 10. When he tried on the right shoe, he screamed, "Ouch!" And that was it. His life was over right there and then. The nail in the shoe was tainted with cancer viruses and bacteria.
Of course the CIA killed Bob Marley. Did you hear the shit he was talking about in his music? Do you listen to the stuff that y'all put in y'all music? The shit's not comparable. You niggas talk about shooting each other in y'all block up. Bob Marley was talking about healing the black community. And he was talking about Africa. Anytime you a revolutionary and you talking about Africa, they gonna want you dead, nigga. Especially in this country. The land of the free.
Bob, is the message of Rastafari that you should go back to Africa?
Yes, and that the earth must rule by Africa. Forward. One government. Forward, not back, forward.
Yeah, go forward to Africa,
yes.
Not back. Do you think that will ever happen? Do you really believe that will happen?
Yeah.
I don't believe he died from cancer. I hear a lot of word of mouth going around, especially in the Jamaica areas. They feel the United States killed Bob Marley. So I'm going to just believe them, and I agree with those people, you know what I'm saying? When your bloodline doesn't really trace back to the indigenous Indians of America, you think a little different, you know? When you believe you came from Africa, your revolutionary skills are just a little bit better, you know? The island folks, they actually know how to start a revolution if you haven't paid attention. The island folks will always be the key to any revolution. Always remember that.
During his 1980 tour, Marley collapsed in Central Park while jogging. With a true warrior spirit, Marley played another concert in Pittsburgh in September of that year, a show that would mark his final musical performance on stage. After Marley's Pittsburgh show, he canceled the remaining dates on his tour and flew to Germany for a unique therapy, a diet-based treatment administered by Joseph Issels. Marley stayed the night in Germany for 8 months, but the treatments were unsuccessful, so he flew back to Jamaica. On his flight home, his condition worsened, so upon landing he was immediately rushed to a hospital in Miami. On May 11th, 1981, at the Cedars of Lebanon Hotel, Bob Marley passed away.
Listen to what they put in their music in this area. Listen to what they put in their music in this fucking country. Hear the difference. Go listen to Buju Banton, the stuff he was talking about. He got songs that's banned in America.
Protesters outside the Rocket Room, many from the gay and lesbian community, are raising their voices.
It's advocating terror towards gay people.
Against a reggae singer performing inside. Jamaican recording artist Buju Banton is a 4-time Grammy nominee.
It's a little different with the island folks, you know what I'm saying? That's why they killed Bob Marley.
Not trying to be insensitive, but you is not my relative. All irrelevant conversations take me out my element. I seen a nigga hating on me. Man, don't you be a